Hi, welcome to Professor Kev Show. As you can see, I got my friend Hailee with us from ALCU. Good morning, Hailee. Welcome to the show.
Good morning. Thank you so much for having me, Professor Kev. I'm excited to be here.
All right, so let's start at the beginning. Let's tell us a little bit about ALCU before we get in.
Yeah, absolutely. So my name's Hailee Centrella. I am our campus recruiting manager here at ALCU. I've been at ALCU coming up on my fifth year anniversary, which is pretty wild to think I've been at ALCU longer than I was actually in college. But a little bit about us. We're located right over in Andover, Massachusetts. That's where our headquarters is. And we are a highly specialized staffing firm. I was not familiar with staffing when I was a senior in college and I met ALCU. But basically, we're the matchmakers between really high level consultants, people who are experts in their fields, and companies who need those types of people on a contract role basis. So we're the matchmakers. We are hiring for our sales internship program, which is designed to lead to full time. And we have a ton of UMass Lowell students that actually participate in that, as well as our full time sales role. So you would either be an account manager or a recruiter, building relationships with our clients and our consultants.
So, Hailee, we just finished off the job fair, career fair,
Mhm.
and I'm trying to talk to as many recruiters as I can because I find my students often get overwhelmed. They're like, Kev, I'm trying to get, in front of that recruiter. I'm trying to make them remember me when they're seeing hundreds of students. Let's start at the beginning. I'm walking up to the table. What should be my approach?
Yeah, the first thing I always say is a smile. It's so underestimated, so easy, but as recruiters, we are there to welcome the conversation. We're trying to be approachable. I know at least at ALCU, I stand on the outside of the table to welcome more students in. I don't want to be hiding behind our sign. I feel like it could make people more nervous. So I think the first step is just approaching with a smile. I understand that you could be nervous, right? But my job is to try to help you not be nervous. So I'm going to guide you through the conversation. So shake off those nerves, come over with a smile, nice handshake, introduce yourself. And I always say that it's good to, of course, just state, "Hi, I'm Hailee. I'm a senior at UMass Lowell, graduating in May with a business degree." But who are you? Right? I'm Hailee. I'm a first generation college student and graduate. I'll be graduating this upcoming May. I'm eager to work for a company that does sales. And I did research on ALCU, saw that your cultures have fun working hard, and I wanted to stop by today. So bringing it a little step extra than just the I'm Hailee, my major, my year. Tell us something about you. And then, of course, have some information about the company. But one thing I like to mention there too is that doesn't mean that you can't go up to a table that seems interesting to you, right? And say, "Hey, I apologize. I didn't learn about your company before the fair, but this caught my eye. Can you tell me more about that?" So I say smile, confident energy, and just being a little bit enthusiastic to learn more about the company really, really sets students apart in my eyes.
So now, Hailee, as we joke, I'm old. I'm 60 years old. I haven't had to do this in a long time. Is it still tradition to dress up a little bit?
I think so. I always compliment the students that do have on like the nice blazer, a nice shirt and tie, or a dress. But for me, in my opinion, it's more about how it makes you feel. I know that when I put on some shoulder pads, I feel like I can take over the world, right? So I think being able to elevate yourself, dress up a little bit, but being comfortable is the most important thing. You don't want to be wearing a pair of heels that you don't feel comfortable walking in, right? You want to be comfortable at the fair, but I think if you're able to dress up and elevate a little bit, it's going to help you feel more confident and more business-like, I guess you could say.
So, Hailee, one of the things I hear from a lot of my recruiting friends is it's all in the follow-up. So
Yeah.
if I meet you and I feel like, hey, Alco's the company for me, what's the next step? How do I follow up that it's not just, hi, Hailee, thanks for talking to me?
Yeah. I love that. One thing I say, and we have specific directions when we meet someone at the fair. So here are the next steps, Kev. I'm going to have you fill out this iPad here. That's an interest form. After the fair, you're going to receive an email from me with a link to apply. And I tell students apply through that link because you will get priority in the terms of connecting with our team. But you'd have no idea how many students actually just go to the website and apply through there. So the first step I say is listen to what the next steps are because that is to help you. And then number two, the follow-up. I actually am going through a lot of emails right now from last week's career fair, seeing awesome follow-up emails. It's one thing to just reach out and say like, "Hi, Professor Kev, it was nice to meet you. I enjoyed our conversation." but to point out something specific about the conversation or to remind me something about yourself. You don't have to be afraid to do that. I met an awesome student at the career fair last week, and they followed up with me saying, "Hey, I'm the one who told you this story. I loved hearing about your experience. I'm excited for my call with an internal recruiter." And I actually just responded with some extra tips and advice on how to approach that call. So follow up is definitely key. You can use LinkedIn and email. It doesn't hurt to send both. I know a lot of students worry, I don't want to annoy the recruiter. That's our job. You're not annoying us, right? So don't be afraid to, reach out to every single recruiter that you had a conversation with, especially if you enjoyed the conversation.
Hailee, I want to go old school because I actually got one today. How about a card?
A card, a business card.
No, no,
What?
a card in the mail.
A
And
handwritten card from meeting at a career fair.
printed
That's
though,
what I
Hailee,
have.
printed.
I haven't gotten that yet, but I love a handwritten card. I think it goes a really, really long way. So if you have an opportunity to do so, absolutely.
I bring it up because I literally got one today. I went to my mailbox on campus and I had helped a student and it actually took the time to send the card.
Oh,
And that's exactly what I did. I'm like, nice touch.
yeah. And I mean it that sets someone apart,
It stands
blatantly.
out
That's
because very few people will do it and stuff.
take the
So that's
time to
taking
do
it
it.
to that
Yep.
next level. So, all right, Haley, anything that we missed that people should consider to kind of stand out? I like your thing. Follow the instructions. That's
Follow the
right
instructions,
away.
number
Like you're
one.
listening and following the instructions.
You'll have no idea how many people don't follow it, but yes, follow the instructions. And we do understand too, like it's a busy career fair. It's loud. You're filling out an iPad. I'm walking you through the next steps, and you're probably excited. So you're eager, which is fine. Luckily at ALCU, we're able to properly notice if we did meet you at the fair, even if you applied through the website. But for other companies, it could be really important to listen. So that would be my number one tip. Another thing at the career fair is I tell this to students all the time. This is your opportunity to interview employers. I am not interviewing candidates at the fair. Of course, I'm marking standouts. I'm sending them over to my team with notes saying, this person was awesome. They're an athlete, or um, they just did a sales role and they're looking for something else. So I definitely send those messages, but you really want to make sure that you're connecting with the person and you're asking questions. It, I could be selling ALCU all day, but it's up to you and what's important to you.
Great.
I know to age myself a bit back in 2017, 18, when I was on my job hunt and graduating from college, I had three things that were important to me. And they sound really silly and they sound really simple, but I've found a job and a company that embraces all of them. I wanted to be excited to wake up for work in the morning. Easy, right? Simple. Number two, I wanted a potential to earn. I knew I was going to have student loans. I grew up lower income. I wanted to be able to support myself, help my family, be financially stable. And three, I wanted to grow personally and professionally. I didn't know exactly what that meant at the time,
Sounds
but
good though.
I knew that I wanted to be like a businesswoman and all that good stuff. And I found a company that helped me do that. And let me tell you, I did interview and get offers from probably 10 big companies in Boston before I walked in the door at ALCU, and immediately knew that this would be my home just from the energy and the culture and the people. But it's really important to be honest with yourself before the fair in terms of what is important to you. If helping people is your number one thing, if earning is your number one thing, those are all okay, right? It's okay to have different wants, but being honest with yourself for the job, because if you can't be yourself in a role, you're not going to be able to give 100%.
Amen.
So I always say start with being honest, do your research, and ask like good questions at the fair. We get all the questions about day to day, which we're happy to answer. That's what the fair is for. But the questions that really stand out to me are, what does a really successful intern look like in your eyes? And I'm able to explain that and give them more of a tangible idea of what the job is. So, um, standing out at the fair is not always easy, but confidence is definitely key. Connecting with the person, asking them questions about their experience, and doing your research, I'd say, are the big ones to stand out.
Awesome. Haley, what's the best way for people to reach out to you if they want to learn more, my friend?
Yes. So to reach out to me, I usually tell this in my next steps of you're going to receive an email from me with a link to apply. My contact info will be in there. Feel free to shoot me an email. Also, feel free to message me on LinkedIn. One thing I want to tell students though, and I know that this is like the grind time, right? Everyone's looking for jobs. Our teams are so busy on the phone setting up interviews. Be patient. Um, don't worry that, hey, if I missed your LinkedIn message or it's been a week since I've answered, it's not personal, right? I think it's one thing that it took me a little bit to realize when I graduated college, but it's not personal. If you don't hear from me for a week, please follow up.
Yeah,
I appreciate it, right? I'm like, bring it back to the top of my email. So don't be afraid to send those follow-up emails. Of course, there is a difference between being aggressive with a recruiter,
yeah,
but it's not annoying. And I feel like that's something that students really get in their head of, oh, I don't know where I'm at. I don't know if I should follow up. I don't want to bother them. That's our job, right? That doesn't bother us. If anything, it shows us that you're eager and you have initiative.
yeah.
And maybe we need to give you more direct feedback.
Awesome. All right. So, do you want to share your contact info or how people should reach out to you?
Oh, yeah, yeah, for sure. I'm sorry. You can reach out to me at hcentrella, so HCentrella at alcu.com. I'm also on our Handshake page. I'm on LinkedIn as well. I'd love to connect on LinkedIn, so you can add me there. And then we have a campus Instagram account that shows kind of where we'll be, where we are, and that's uh, ALCU on campus on Instagram.
Awesome. Haley, I appreciate you taking a few minutes to call on the show. And as always, thanks for being my friend.
Yeah, thanks for being my friend, Professor Kev. Thanks for having me. I've been dying to get on here.